So, by the way, hey, Jen, who do you want to do a shout out to?
Let's do a shout out to Tina Lofton who connected us.
Woo, Tina Lofton, here we go. Guys, I am so excited today. I'm talking to my first and only one that I know, real life shaman. Her name is Jen Pisano, and we want to talk to her right now. Bam! Hey, Jen,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me on the show.
I'm so excited that you are here. You are a real life shaman and practicer of arts that people usually try to either forget or don't know about or think are weird and strange. And I love them, and I want to talk to you about all of these things. Okay, so
Absolutely. I
let's
can talk
start
about
with
weird and strange is my field. Let's
I
do it.
love strange things like in the upside down. Um, Tell us first of all, what is a shaman,
So
what? Tell me about that.
tell you about that. That would take all of my lifetime to tell you how we got there. But
Okay.
wounded healers is probably how I'm going to start with that to open into that. It is people who have overcome, this is my description of it, how we overcome what we've been through. We've taken our trauma, we've recycled it, we've repurposed, and now we're serving others. So a lot of people that are shamans, and in my opinion we're all shamans in the making. That is my truth. That is what was passed on to me from Don Miguel Ruiz through his teachings. And what you do is you go within yourself as deep as you can go, and you start shedding layers to understand the lessons that you hold. And there's sacred wisdom in all of those lessons. And as we do that work, we remove the pain and we start repurposing it so that we align with our own truths. So I've
Gotcha.
taken all of my experiences and all of my pains and all my traumas from the life of hard knocks, and I'm using that to serve others.
Okay. So, as a teacher, shaman,
Teacher, yes, teacher.
teacher, what do you bring to your audiences? How do you help them? What are the things they're looking for from you?
Most people don't know what they're looking for, to be honest. They come for symptoms, but what's causing the symptoms is usually unsolved and unresolved emotions, things that have just been suppressed so far down that they don't even know that they're there anymore. People might come for anxiety, or I work with people from have had sexual trauma cases from childhood, and it's just suppressed, suppressed, suppressed. And now they want to have a baby and they can't get pregnant. It's
Mm,
turned off, it's shut down, right? So there's all different kinds of situations, stress, anxiety, fears, addictions that have
okay.
been passed down. And some of this is stuff that we hold from our ancestors. Like I do a lot of ancestral work with people trying to remove things that is in our blood and bones that's been passed down. We're carrying a lot of oppression. We're carrying addictions that don't need to be ours anymore.
Gotcha. Now, I think that you work mostly with women, and
I
why is that? What's the choice there? Why do you do
um
that?
it's safe space, honestly. I work with a lot of women who have been victims, and
Mm,
I wanted to honor safe, sacred space for them where they feel 100% completely at home here in my space. And this work is it's hard work. You go to deep places and it's very vulnerable. And I do work with men too, through referrals, but my primary business is with women. And also because of my own life experiences and the things that I have went through, I feel like I can walk with women with fierce compassion because I've
uh,
been.
I like that word, fierce compassion. Is that yours?
It's it's mine, yeah,
I,
because I'm still got that. I've got to push, right? I've got to be a coach, so to speak, to get them to move through where they're stuck. But the compassion I hold is because of the experiences that I share with them. So, what, grief and pain and trauma that you've gone through and you've overcome, that's the power of the wounded healer. When you can
Mm,
actually speak about the things that you've went through without going back into a triggered state.
gotcha. So a lot of times, like I'm working with psychics right now, and I know I think you are beyond the word psychic. You're not a psychic. You are more, you help people, I think, more than what people think of as the traditional, dollar a minute psychic. You are not that at all. Your
Yes, I have psychic gifts that I use within my practice, and I teach my clients to awaken their own spiritual gifts because we all have natural gifts and talents, and you can use the word psychic. It is psychic gifts, um, clear seeing, clear knowing. I teach people, men and women, to be able to tap into their higher self and get their answers from that place so that they're not looking outside of themselves, but they're looking internally to get their truth and access the information and wisdom they hold.
So how do you do that? How do you teach somebody to access their gifts so that they can actually use their own abilities?
Building a relationship of trust, number one, which is why I want that safe space. And it's a skill set. It takes time. It doesn't happen like that. Some people are more natural at tapping into it than others, but it's being able to quiet the mind and go within. We'll do shamanic journeys. Sometimes I'll do trance dance, lots of drumming, and this is where the shamanic practices come into play. And then I use other techniques from other modalities that I've learned from being a Reiki master, from being a massage therapist. So being in a relaxed state helps people get there a whole lot faster. But more than anything, it's rebuilding trust with ourselves.
What's the overlap that you've seen between the things like the Reiki and the shaman and psychic, and where do they all come together?
Um, Trusting yourself.
Okay.
You have to
So
trust yourself, and you have to trust the process, because if you don't trust the process, it's just creating a roadblock for yourself.
gotcha. So really releasing whatever energies you have is getting rid of the things that are already blocking what's there so that you can get to the energy.
The blocks, and that's why I like to teach inner wisdom. When you tap in and you can listen to your higher self and get rid of the inner judge, that voice doesn't help us. It stops us from becoming who we are. Okay. A lot of the things that we stop ourselves for is because we've listened to others throughout our lifetime and we hear that voice that we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we hold shame, we hold guilt, and right? And even things teachers have told to us that we've claimed as our truth. So a lot of this work, I would say the majority of this work, is restructuring our belief systems and
Gotcha.
coming into aligning with our soul purpose.
So what a belief that might stop somebody from accessing their inner strength, it might be something like what?
From their inner strength. So
Yeah.
I always start with just trusting yourself. So why wouldn't you trust yourself? Why don't you believe in yourself? Why do you not
Hmm.
feel worthy enough to be seen and to be heard? Like how many times people like you, I love that you're out here and you're visual and you're in front and you are this public personality. And there's so many people that can do that and need to be heard and seen, but stop themselves because they don't believe in themselves enough, or they think they're not good enough, or who am I to say,
Right.
right? And
Y-
and and those of us that are in the limelight, right, like yourself, and I've been more public lately, we still are guilty of going to those spaces like, should I say it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you need to be heard and you need to be seen, and that is a part of all of our soul purpose. And that's how we can have mass change, is by serving others, by using our voice.
I would say I don't know that I am. Actually, I do know, but I don't know how to release any of my psychic energy. But one of the things I do try and do in my own life is get people to come out of their shells and get beyond the I have to do these things. I have to work 9 to 5. I have to go to bed at this time so I can work for someone else tomorrow at this time. I have to take care of my family. I have to do these things. And those have tos I don't think are always true. And I want people to explore their dreams.
Absolutely. And that's the belief system that's been passed down, and it's so deeply and ingrained in so many people. Some of
Yeah,
it's cultural, some it's just like mom did it, dad did it, grandma did it, grandpa did it, so I'm supposed to do it too. You
it,
know,
absolutely. And if you can get people out of that mindset and into a new mindset, if I can do that with just, people who listen to this show, I will consider that a win for life.
that is a win. It's a huge win. And that's my purpose with working with women and whatever families choose to come to me, is to align people in their soul purpose. Because I know when you step into your soul purpose, you're going to go out and initiate others to do the same. And it just keeps going.
Can you give us an example of somebody that you've worked? You don't have to know names or anything, but just an example of something that you've worked with someone and they've grown into their new person.
Gosh, there's so many people. I worked with a beautiful being who on my table received beautiful visions, and then she ended up going out and starting a nonprofit for refugees. And it happened very fast for her because there was so much clarity, and she just received the work very, very easily. She worked really hard, she took it in, she did her homework,
Mhm.
and she's changing the lives of so many children and families.
Yeah. Now, some people may say, "Oh, well, you didn't release anything. You just talked to her." But I don't think that's the
You
case,
have
right?
there's always a release. If we're really honest, we all have a bunch of junk in our trunk to let go of. There's just, I mean, we all do. And I get a lot of clients, and I'm sure you do too, that say, "Oh, I've already done the work. I've
Hmm.
already done the work." So then they're weary because they think they've done the work. But the
Yes.
work's never done, or we would not still be here. Like it really is in my world, in the shamanic world, we call it a spiral path.
Hmm.
Because yes, you do the work, but then it comes back around and you go deeper and you go deeper and you go deeper, and your perspective changes so much with each step forward. And through that process, you're able to shed and shed. It's not that the situations and experiences from trauma go away, but you're able to access the medicine from them the deeper you go on your journey.
You know what I want to make an analogy of for people who are having trouble understanding the psychic or spirit shaman world in the real world. I see it myself because a lot of things I do photography, I do some social media marketing for people, I do all kinds of stuff. But now that I've gotten to such a certain level, I can see people who say, "Oh, understand that," and I can go like, "No, you don't understand." But there's no way to make them know that they don't understand until they've been there themselves.
Until you know. And I love that you brought up photography, because one of the ways that we use as an analogy for us is like to look at everything from a bird's eye view. If
Hmm.
you look at your problem from a bird's eye view, as if you were an eagle flying above, and you look down, everything has beauty in it. The landscape looks completely different. But when you're up close and you're in it, sometimes it's hard to really see.
Right. You can't see your own backside, right?
Right.
So no, I think it's true, and everyone needs a teacher, and that teacher may come in the form of a scientist, or they may come in the form of a truck driver, or a psychic, or a talk show person. You never know who those teachers may be, right?
Well, I think we're
Um,
all teachers, and I think we're all learning from each other. Every client I have, I always tell them it's a both and situation. We're learning from each other, and we're always growing and expanding because of those connections.
well, one of the things I want people to just, if they get nothing else out of this, is I want them to get your meditations because I listened to one of your amazing meditations on here. I'm going to bring up the link for it because um, they will get more than this out of you. But if you go to your website slash resources, jenpisano.com slash resources, the meditation on that site is absolutely phenomenal. And just, I think, what is it, like 8 minutes long, 9 minutes long, like that?
Approximately, yes.
And
And I
I
suggest
listened to
wearing
it.
headphones with it because you'll get more out of the meditation that way as well.
Yeah. Talk about the language that's used in there. I asked you about this before, and I want people to understand what's going on when they listen to it.
Yes. So that the language itself, depending what your background is, it could be called speaking in tongues or soul language or the original language. Um, I'm the vessel, and
Mhm.
I'm allowing spirit of the highest vibration of light. You can choose whatever name you want to call it, but the highest vibration of light, creator of all that is, to come through me. And as it's coming through, I'm translating that language for them. Don't concentrate on my words. I want you to feel into the sensations of the experience.
Mhm.
That is more important than the actual words. And if you listen to it more than once, you will have different experience every time.
I've listened to it 4 times now. Yeah. And each time I listen to it because I've got all this noise around me, and you are like right now my go-to calm me down thing.
It is, it's very calming, right?
It is
But it's because
super
it
calming.
the frequencies of that energy coming in, it just recalibrates and rebalances your energetic system. And some people will be moved into tears. Some
Yeah.
people maybe feel heat, um, just different sensations. That's why I say just allow the sensations to come in. And the headphones really do help with that because the frequencies on the left side of your brain and right side of your brain will calibrate as well.
I am going to try it with headphones. I've done it with the without, just sitting in front of my speakers and like relaxing, and I can't wait to do it with headphones. So count me in on that. So
Wonderful. I want to know how you experience it differently in that way as well.
I will. I will write you up. You've also got your website, so people can go and check out things there about you. They'll learn everything they want. But the best way, and this everyone in the world should have one of these, is a link tree. So
Yes.
it's linktr.ee. See how that spells tree, everybody? Link.tree slash Jen Pisano. And you can see all kinds of things there. You can see the books, the recordings, the websites. You can book sessions, everything. It's amazing. So, Jen, I want to thank you so much for being on today. I could keep talking to you like over and over and over for the entire hour or more. And I just want to thank you for coming by and saying hello to everybody.
Yes. Thank you for having me. And you and I are definitely going to have some soulful conversations off
There's
there.
like if this is a zero, we've got like zero chance of that not happening. That's going to happen.
That makes my heart happy. Thank you.
And I'm going to shout out also to Tina. Thanks for hooking this up, Tina. Okay. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.